name is the folks at Bull. Mark's going to 05 numbers after the name. A little Wasteland Wednesday over here, a little Martyr game. Y'all already know how we be is doing. And we're doing it on the Elevate right here. Elevation. I don't remember exactly the name of this map, but it's somewhere about like Elevate, or Elevation, something along those lines over here that we playing on. I got this like thing like hella loud. Y'all gotta turn my volume down. I have to turn my volume down a little bit because these people like murder gaming in here over here. So I want to give some kind of impressions just on this map so far. Kind of how I feel about it and how I've played it. And I played it maybe like 5 or 6 times over here. It's a 3-lane map. Does all the regular functions that you would expect out of a 3-lane map, for good or for bad. But it does have a bunch of different kind of ways of getting in and out of the map. And over here I'm kind of trying to figure out like what exactly I'm going to be doing with my specialist life. What specialist am I going to be rocking with over here? Because I'm still trying to figure out a little bit of the map over here at this point in the game. And I was like, maybe a little SMG action might be alright. I'm working on the SMGs to get the dark matter camo and all that jazz over there. So I'm kind of I've got all my assault rifles set already, diamond down. SMGs are up next, and who knows if I'll ever get it. There's a lot of guns in the game, and I'm playing a lot of Blackout, but you try. But I feel like it's a good match situation for Firebreak. So 3 lanes, but also a ton of different ways to get in and out of the map. And I like kind of the elevation, pun intended, or just facts intended, because that's what it is, on the map. I feel like it really helps out. You're kind of always going like a slight slope, not a crazy slope, but a slight slope. And for the most part, you're spawning on opposite sides. Obviously playing TDM with kill confirmed over here. I was in, actually I believe, I don't know if it was just a mosh pit that they had. They had a mosh pit with the DLC mask, but I'm not sure if it was just the TDM kill confirmed. But I seem to have only played TDM kill confirmed on it. Either way. 3-lane map, 3 different sides. This side I'm on right now is probably my least favorite, but I feel maybe the fairest. You kind of go in and out of buildings or whatever, so you might have some people like up in your face, up in your grill, whereas on the other side it's really just like corners, and that to me felt more like a crapshoot. It's like kind of if you're there before the other person is there kind of deal, you might actually have some success over here. And I'm kind of looking, I'm like, where the hell is this guy going? I'm like, man, how did this guy disappear? I don't know if he's in a corner or not. I'm like, I'm really interested in him. I got my streak already. I'm gonna put in a little work over here. Let me reevaluate life and think about it. It's pretty good for streaks. You can kind of tell up over here. You can really see a lot from up above. And there's buildings though too, so I mean you could the flip side kind of duck into a building once you get to know it well enough, and you know if someone calls a hit-on storm, dip inside like a building or something as soon as possible and kind of survive that way. So I think it's got the best of both worlds, but once you get to playing against smarter players, I think the kill streaks would do less and less damage. The Mantis to me felt pretty clutch on this map. He kind of covered a lot of ground. He was kind of in the middle for a long time in this map, just like pointing work, and I'm like, alright, I see you. So you see me doing a lot of flanking around. I didn't really play the middle too much. Like kind of where I'm at right now is really the middle of the map. I'm kind of just trying to keep it, trying to look at see what's happening over here. This was kind of just a fluky one of like, let's give it a shot. Let's see how far I can make it with the RB. I play Firebreak mainly on most maps. I think I'll probably play Firebreak on this map too. The different amounts of buildings that I could kind of put in work seem to play off pretty well for the guy. Also just corners and stuff like that. Get someone chasing after you, all of a sudden drop down with that RB. I think I put in some good amount of work with the Purifier. Memory serves around in this gameplay too. It's got good distance for the Purifier. You know, it could be a lot worse, but coming into like a building with like the Purifier and popping somebody is pretty clutch. Or even coming around the corners and whatnot, putting in that work over there. This seems to be kind of one of the main spawns I'm looking at right now, and you'll notice that they'll even spawn like people pretty close, like to like when you're there. Like I'll be here and they'll spawn behind the other side of those, so be kind of careful. And the same thing with the flip side, and I think we might engage with it a little bit later in the map, in the game, where on the flip side they spawn a little bit closer than you would anticipate, and I think that's kind of holds tight for like most of this game, where like they kind of always seem to spawn just a little bit closer than you'd expect. You're like, oh, I don't know if I need them to be this close. This building over here to my right is kind of the, I don't want to say main building, but it's definitely one of the bigger buildings on the map, and it's got a ton of different entrances. I've only passed by. I don't really want to hold it. You saw like one of the guys over there had the little chain link fence thing. I wouldn't even suggest doing that because, well, like there's so many different entrances and exits that like you really can't cover them all. I don't think so. Maybe if you have 2 people on your team, you could, but if you don't, then I don't know how you're really covering over that. So at least we got one person with this damn Purifier, because we circled the whole map. We didn't see anybody, but whatever. We got the streaks going over here, and then they start spawning over here. I'm like, Like, here they are. So you see me kind of circling around over here. The circle kind of layout for this is pretty handy. Like, I wouldn't have survived if this thing was a circle. This thing was just 90-degree angle. That guy would have seen me. But I just kept hugging that circle really tight and kind of looping around until I was like ready to get engaged back in that gunfight. So I really like that back spawn even more than like this top spawn over here. Even though this top spawn is a little bit more open. It's kind of around the square thing, but people kind of dip in and out of it and kind of play around that way. And I'm hoping I kind of nibble somebody over here. I'm like, come on, somebody's going to be trying to come through over here. So we got one over there, and I'm looking. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, maybe I can get behind this guy over here. Let's examine this over here. My man, you buddy. Okay, boom, boom. Double two-piece. Should have probably died right there, but that's okay. No problem. We got this hacker thing, which I haven't even spoken about Zero yet, because I'm still trying to fully figure out what happens 90% of the time that, like, I get hit with it. I don't like any part of it. I guess, I mean, the EMP is cool. Like, that's cool, because I've always wondered why we couldn't just have an EMP in the game. Now, then again, last time we had an EMP in a Call of Duty game, or, you know, in a Black Ops game, it was like stupid OP, but hey, you know, that's whatever. So it's good to have that back, but the hacker thing is like kind of wild. Like, that like kind of is a little bit out of control with like how much like ground like that covers, and like how it messes up your health, your ammo. Like, it hits like so many aspects that I am not cool with. But, you know, I mean, like I say, people would say about like the Purifier, right? It's like, yo, this guy's like under me and he hits me with this RB thing. Maybe it's not the fairest thing. I don't know. Ultimately, you know, if I had my way, there wouldn't be specialists. Like, I really have no interest in them. I don't really need them for anything. But, you know, I get their purpose. I understand why they're there. And, you know, they're not going anywhere, so you might as well just be happy and try to figure out as best as you can with playing with them. But for me, I always like to point out the channel. Cool with no specialists. Just give us a regular pick 10, and we go on a merry way. So, Elevate, to me, was a very good map. I like it more than Madagascar, but that doesn't necessarily say anything against Madagascar. I like it too. But if I had to pick between the two, this to me was the better addition. I think it's the funner map. I don't know, though. I also haven't gotten, like, clapped. I also haven't run into, like, 1,000 people that, like, know the map better than me, or you're, like, killing me all over the map. And then maybe I'll have a different opinion. Maybe I'll be like, yo, Elevate. Like, this thing's, like, hella unfair, yo. Like, what's going on with Elevate, man? Like, what happened? Like, I got, like, spawn trapped 16 times in, like, the left corner. That's not what I've had. I've had that a little more in Madagascar, honestly, where I've gotten kind of spawn trapped. But in Madagascar, for some reason, I've only played Dom and like one game of TDM and whatnot. So I got to play a little more on TDM, Kill Confirm, and kind of get a little better flow, which is my main modes. But Elevate, good addition.